Okay, so we're just going to go basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I wanted to move this way because, whoops, I gotta get you down here. So remember, if a minion sees Albus, that's nothing. It's just, it just thinks it's a dog or another creature. So it will not convert to a raiding minion. Okay, we did actually a lot with that. I hope you enjoyed going through how to hire a second and final mercenary. And now let's go over to our heroes and start clearing out some chambers. Okay, and Zeke, of course, has initiative token 1. So remember, we're going to try to get to this chamber right here in the Tomb of St. Viticus North. We're looking for some high movement. Hopefully you remember what I said about the die and how I consider it like a, high results are clear terrain, low results are kind of like maybe holes in the dungeon floor, or maybe there's a coffin in the way. So we're looking for some seriously high movement right now. Base movement of 2. That's great. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we're short, we're just going to burn some incense. Yeah, we're going to burn incense. We're going to burn essence to get in there, my friends. So roll. 2. I think we'll have just enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we don't. However, I'm going to use an essence. Remember, you can use essence to gain a movement. You can do as much as you like, but remember, that's kind of a precious commodity. So I gained 1 movement. We're going to go in. I am declaring that I'm going to rally Mahaliak. We cannot reveal that until that's done. Flip this over. That worked out perfectly, guys. We're going to rally Mahaliak. What do we have to do? We got to pay 1 essence for that rally call. Okay. Mahaliak worked out perfect. He has initiative token 2. He's going to go aid Zeke and take our D6, base movement of 2 for Mahaliak, and 2 and 2, that's 4. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1 more. We'll definitely get in that chamber. Plenty of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to reveal what is in this chamber. It is a level 1 champion monster. Let's do this now. Grab the level 1 monster cards. As you see, as we looked at, those dual monsters are in here. Let's put this just in case. And we're going to do the die roll again. So let's see. Is it going to be another dual monster chamber? We're ready this time. So let's see. Again, guys, I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. There were some nice people that said they're enjoying it. High Cap, hello there. Shell and Techno Mage, I hope you're doing good. I know you're watching, Andrew. Okay, let's roll a die so you know. Let fate decide here. 5, 5th one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our heroes have encountered a massive viper. Look, I went right for those warfare types. Okay, we're going to do good in those 2. Origin story, so this is a normal one. Okay, let's go over to our combat table. Let's take this thing out. Okay, guys, we are in the chamber with the massive viper, Zeke, and Mahaliak, and we're about to start the battle. We're going to try to do this really quick, and I tried to come up with maybe a new format that might even go a little bit quicker. So we have its warfare types. It's versed, of course, in ranged, mythical, and physical warfare. Let me just give these a quick shuffle. And I think I'm going to show you Intimidating Shout to let you see how that works. Okay, so remember, top of a combat round, before we get into it, is this an elite monster? Is it going to activate any kind of special abilities? No. It is just a normal version, so move to the next thing. Do the heroes want to activate any kind of special abilities? Drink a potion. Not at this time, but we are going to, I'm just going to demonstrate Intimidating Shout because I want to take this thing out hopefully in the first round. I'm hoping that physical warfare comes up first and then ranged. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we're going to move on to phase 1 of combat. Reveal. This is going to be ranged. Okay, well, Mahaliak is going to attack. Looking at the Massive Viper, what is that? That's a 9. Okay, well, I would say Mahaliak's going to take him out. Or, you know, like he's going to land a hit. He's got Mallory's Golden Bow. That gives him a +3 to ranged warfare rolls. So we just got to get a 6. So I'm going to declare for phase 1, Mallory's Golden Bow. And he's going to run up, pull the bow back, ranged warfare dice, and, oh yeah, 6 and a 4, that's 10, plus the 3 from Mallory's Golden Bow, that's a 13, exceeds that 9, and guess what? I'm prepared. I have damage tokens. It only has 3 health, so we have our... So already, great hit by Mahaliak. And just so I show you that there. So remember, whatever's on the weapon card, 2 damage, plus 2 damage, we just did 2 damage. That's how that works. Let's clear up the warfare dice, the token. We're moving on to phase 2. Reveal the token, and it is, darn it, I really wanted physical to come up. Let's take a look at, Mahaliak is at a 0 right now. But Zeke has a +1 on his hero card. You know, he's a little proficient in mythical warfare, and he doesn't really have anything to buff that up. But you know what? We can use this right now. Take a look. Intimidating Shout. Even though it's his turn, you know what, Zeke is going to attack. Intimidating Shout may be activated before making a warfare roll. Once activated, select one of the monster's warfare values and lower it by 2 for this round. So we're going to do that. Mahaliak's kind of just picture that in the dungeon. He's going to do this Intimidating Shout. But Zeke is going to attack. So let's do this first. Phase 2. Zeke is going to attack with Luke's Training Sword. Potential to do 2 damage. Before the warfare roll, whoops. I think our Minotaur knows it's what's about to go down. Mahaliak's going to activate this. So he's doing this huge shout at the Massive Viper. We're going to pay the 1 essence, remember. Just want to make sure I go over this with you guys so you know. Orange is the essence cost. That's only 1. And look, green arrow up. You never have to channel that. You can use it over and over again. So I brought over our handy D3, and I'm going to set that to 2 just as a reminder. Let's look at more mythical warfare. So that is, what's 11? Okay, so that's going to get from Intimidating Shout. I'll even put this right here so you know that's active right now. That's going to lower that by 2. So that's only, what, a 9? But then remember, he's proficient in mythical warfare, Zeke is. So that's going to even, so that's, we could add +1 to that. But right now, that's really a 9 from Intimidating Shout. So Zeke rushes up, pulls back Luke's Training Sword, and 4, 4, and whoops, can you see that? 4, 4, that's 8. And you know, luckily he just hit it because he just like grazed that Massive Viper, if you want to think of it that way. +1, 2 mythical warfare rolls. Had it not been for that, he would have taken damage. Zeke lands the killing blow. That was very close. And of course, if Mahaliak never cast this or activated this, did the Intimidating Shout, that would have been a fail. There you go. Hero special abilities in action. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's clear all this up here. We have killed it. Zeke has killed it. Take our friendly Minotaur card holder out. Get rid of this stuff. And I'd like to ask you guys, what's next? The loot and gold roll. Let's take a look at this. Well, first of all, let's get the life force. I have that actually on deck waiting. There's our 2 life force, so they put that in their collective pool. And then looking now at the loot and gold roll, what is that there? 18. So 18 plus 13 plus to get some gold or loot. So hopefully this thing was carrying something of value. Let's see. And I don't believe it. I don't freaking believe it. A nat 20. Oh my God. Zeke, your luck is turning around in the dungeon. That was very awesome to have that on camera. A nat 20. Let's get him his 100 gold. We're going to get the loot deck. I'm very excited to draw this card. Okay, there's the 100. Get this massive loot deck. This is very hard to shuffle, but I want you to see it shuffled. You know what would be cool? There's those underworld artifacts. How cool would it be to pull one of those right now? I will use it. I'll use it on Red Widow, I promise you. If this Massive Viper had an underworld artifact, while Zeke is looting it, I will attack Red Widow, and I'll show you how to use an underworld artifact. Most deadly weapons in the game for monsters and for your hero. Okay, so I'm going to do the die roll again so you know it's on the up and up. So 3, third card down. 1, 2, 3. So picture it, Zeke is kind of like looting this Massive Viper, and he finds, oh my God. Do you know how bad I wanted to pull an underworld artifact and have that on camera? And what does Zeke find? A piece of junk loot. Yes, my friends, there's junk loot in Dungeon Crusade, and this is one of those moments where it's just the game is laughing at me. Fake ruby stone ring. At first glance, it appears to be a ruby stone ring, but a closer observation reveals it to be a cheap ring, junk loot. So in case you don't know, I created 20 pieces of junk loot, and I just want to give you my take on this, because everything to me, when you play these kind of games, you're not guaranteed to get loot every time from monsters. You know, it's tough to get loot. So this was kind of my way to say, haha, you didn't get loot. So there is one of the 20 pieces of junk loot. Fake ruby stone ring. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get back to the dungeon. And we are back in the dungeon with Zeke and his initiative token 3. But before that, I'm going to be very honest, very candid with you guys. I had my heart set on pulling an underworld artifact. And you know what I'm going to do real quick? And so in case people don't know what that is, let me just grab it real quick. I really thought I was going to pull that because I was going to... I just thought it would have been so perfect in our playthrough to pull that, and then I was going to give it to Matari. There's 6 different ones. But here we go. They're all tied to the warfare types too. So, but this is like this one right here. This is Axe of the Black Angel, and these are the most evil, powerful weapons in the game. So notice it's a black level. The blacksmith will never sell one of these. There's no gold cost. You have to do what I just said, find it in the treasure chest or on a monster drop. But they do 6 damage, but you have to feed it life force. And then see that the skull with the 13 plus, it's called a fate roll. You have to roll the d20, and on a fail, your hero's soul is consumed. I talked about it earlier in the series, but I just wanted to show, maybe people haven't seen this yet, but there's one for this one's chaos. Look at that, you can add +8 to chaos warfare rolls, and it does 6 damage. But just real quick, that's why I wanted to put these in the game, to put it in the player's mind. Your heroes are good, they're wholesome, they're doing really great things, but then there's this evil weapon, and you have to use life force, which of course is something good, and you're feeding it into something evil for power. So I wanted to put that in players' head, and I always thought that was interesting, that what would players do? Well, I'll tell you, I was going to use it. So these are very, very rare and super hard to come by in the game. So There you go. Junk loot, all the way up to underworld artifacts, and everything in between. Okay, but that was fun. So now let's go on with our plan. We have initiative token 3. So far, so good. Zeke is up, and we're trying to get him into this chamber. We're going to try to knock out the Chambers of the Corrupt quest. And I think it's possible. But hopefully you're seeing with Solo Crusader mode how quick the game is. It would go quicker, but I'm doing, explaining and chatting with you and hanging out. That's bad movement. Zeke base movement of 2 with a roll of a 1. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. But he'll be able to get into that chamber, though. And then we're going to do another rally call. So here's his second action for this initiative token. Or plenty of movement. 1, 2, 3. Doors automatically open. Never have to pay that for an action. I want to keep saying that so you know. Of course, you don't reveal that yet. I'm going to declare I want to rally Maheliak. So I'm going to have Zeke pay the essence for that, 1. And he's going to rally Maheliak. So Maheliak has initiative token 4. And he's going to answer the rally call. He is on his way. Base movement of 2, roll of d6. 4 and 2 is 6. Remember, chambers are all considered one space. They're never 1, 2, or anything. All one space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His next one, well, he has 2 he can get in. He has a base movement of 2, but we'll roll. 1, 2, door opens up, they go in. Now we are permitted to reveal the monster token, and it is, I think I told you, I always pictured this as like swirling around, like in a PC game, like the monster's about to spawn, and it's our level 1 monster. Okay, let's get this again. Shuffle it. I hope you're enjoying this. This is actually a really good churn. Now with the Guardian in the game, it's going to even get a little more hotter. Okay. Let's roll our die. And that is 4. Count 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our hero and mercenary have discovered a... God, why didn't I buy a torch? And it's our friendly Black Hand sniper from the Black Hand Army faction. All right, guys, let's go over. But remember, Maheliak is very versed in these. He's just going to take this thing out with the quickness. Let's head back over to our combat table. And here we are back in the dungeon chamber. This chamber with Zeke and Maheliak. And you know what I think we're going to do, guys? Some of you veteran Crusaders know this and still use this. You've been seeing the revised combat, but there's a legacy combat mode is what I call it. And it's I think more strategic. It's a little more drawn out, and you could go between each mode. So I thought, why not hang out with you since we're doing this awesome playthrough and show you the legacy combat mode. And it's just as fun. It's a little more strategic, and I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to do. So why don't we do this particular battle with the legacy combat mode? And again, you could use it for this. However, with minions, we've always called it evolved minions. That is used always. So either if you want to play this method or, the revised, either way, you're always going to do the combat with the minions like you've been seeing. Okay? So what you're going to see here, this pertains to champion, monster battles, and guardian. So you could switch it up even. So I thought we could run through this. Before we get to that, though, we have to take a look at this special ability, because remember, that's you always process this first, and you probably are familiar with this. Shot in the dark. Before combat, each hero must test willpower 12 to spot the sniper. On a fail, roll 1d3. The hero takes damage equal to the result -1. If any hero has a torch, the sniper is spotted, no test is needed. Well, of course, they don't have a torch. So let's do that real quick. And we'll go with Zeke first. And he has to test his willpower. And remember, that's the green attribute right there. Well, that's really good. That's a 3. But remember, he does have the Angel of Luck blessing. So that is a +2 to that. So he's up by 5. So, and he has to, what is that, a 12? So let's just roll. Let's take this off of here for now. Roll right here. And, no, gosh, it's terrible. 2. Zeke, you're not doing good again. Okay, so what? We got to roll the D3 right here. Result -1. Okay, he's going to take 2 damage from that. So we get his card here. Mark it down. He was at full health, so he's now down to 6. Maheliak now has to spot the sniper. And let's take a look at his. Okay, so he has 2 willpower, so he's going to have to get a 10 to spot the sniper. Let's move that up. And I think this format where I can pull things out, and you can see this right here, I think this is working pretty good. So, oh yeah, perfect. So 15, he spotted that sniper, no damage. Okay, so let's talk about this legacy combat mode. Remember, you could always use this. And I'm going to try to explain it the easiest way, okay? This is the combat chart here. Of course, you get it with Dungeon. It's on the Dungeon UI board. I actually had an extra board, so I cut it out. And just like we've been doing, it's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. But here's the difference with this, and just remember the big rule. And it's like, as soon as I tell people this, they kind of get it. Our heroes have a weapon in each hand, right? Left and right. So let's say that it was Maheliak in there solo, okay? He has a weapon in each hand, right? Well, when we're going to shuffle the warfare tokens and reveal them, but a hero can only attack with legacy combat mode in one phase with a weapon. Once you declare that weapon and use it, it can't be used for the next phases. Okay, so he has, as an example, you know, he has, say, in his left hand, the primordial axe and Mallory's golden bow. So once you reveal all 3 warfare types at once, you'll see how this works. So once we declare, well, let's just say, you know, chaos came up. Okay, I'm going to attack in phase 1, you know, in chaos. Phase 2 is going to be physical. Okay, I'm going to use Mallory's golden bow. Well, he's out of hands, he's out of weapons, right, for phase 3. He's going to have to defend in phase 3. You see how that works? It's as simple as that. So when your hero runs out of weapons in each of their hands, you have to place the defend side on his hero card, signifying he's defending in that phase. And so that's why it's really crucial to rally heroes. And that's one of the reasons the revised combat works so well with, you know, the Solo Crusader mode. But you can play it either way. They're both fun. This one's a little more strategic, I would say. So let's just try this out. You'll get this after the first try, or, you know, like once we run through it once. But each hero has to, if you rally a hero, they can't just sit back and let the other hero do everything. If you bring a hero in, each hero has to act, you know, be active in the combat, or, you know, attack. So let me put everything back over here, and we'll go through this. You'll get it from the first round of combat. So let's get the warfare tokens. We're going to do this first. So there's the warfare tokens, right? Okay, here's our combat chart. We're going to shuffle. Okay, I'm going to place these right over here. And there's actually the app. I should have actually had my tablet out here. There's an app you can download. Just search, you know, the Apple Store or Android for Dungeon Crusade Combat app. Whoops, how did that happen? Hold on. This leg gave out. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you can see we have these. They've been shuffled and they're right here. So let's reveal. Phase 1 is going to be Chaos Warfare. Phase 2 is going to be ranged. Finally, phase 3 is going to be physical. Okay, so now, and this is where the thinking man's dungeon crawl game and the strategic part come up. You would, if you're playing solo, now how do you want to attack? You slide these up and down of how you want to attack. Okay, so let's just say, well, for phase 1, I'm going to declare Maheliak is going to attack in phase 1. Okay, well, what's he going to attack with? I'm going to have him attack in phase 1 with his primordial axe. I'm declaring that. See how that works? He can do 1 damage, but no buffs to Chaos Warfare. Okay, that's locked in. Okay, in phase 2, kind of what do we want to do? Well, we're definitely going to attack in phase 2 with ranged, and I'm going to use Mahaliak. Now remember, we already locked in his primordial axe. We can't use that again, but we can of course use Mallory's golden bow because it gives us a +3. We're going to take battle token 2 and place it on this. Actually, I really do love this system now that I haven't played it in a while because I've been playing the revised, but I truly love this, and it goes much quicker. But I'm explaining this to you. Finally, now Mahaliak's done, right? He used both of his weapons in his hands. Now we're going to have to go to Zeke, this is where the strategic part comes in. He's terrible with physical warfare. So you know what? Now that I explained that, let me show you something. Let's get Zeke's card. And this is where kind of the strategy comes in with the legacy combat mode. -3, that's not too good. What we could have done is had him attack in maybe ranged, and then use Mahaliak to attack because he's proficient in physical warfare. But you know what? We'll leave it like that for now. So, of course, remember, Mahaliak's done. He used both of his weapons. We're going to push the attack in phase 3. Even though on Zeke's card he has that -3, do remember he has Luke's training sword, which gives him a +3. So it evens it out. So he's at 0. So that's how that works. And actually, I'm glad this is set up. So we're about to roll the dice. You don't roll one at a time. You take all the warfare dice, and usually I have a dice tray for this, and the battle's going to commence. Now just picture this, like when we're rolling the dice, both the heroes are going up, and in phase 1, Mahaliak is swinging his axe, and then he pulls back and uses the bow, and then he's kind of done. Then phase 3 comes up, and Zeke's going to run up with the sword and take a whack at him. That's how to visualize the legacy combat mode. It's like a flurry of attacks between the hero or heroes and monster. So I'm going to put this over to the side for a moment, and let's see how this goes. But I hope you see exactly how the legacy combat mode, and some people still use it and love it, and it's a cool system, and it just adds more strategy to the game. So let's roll carefully. Okay, so I'm going to take these and just put them over here on the chart. And I have to say, I really like having the revised combat for people who just want something quick and fun. But then if people want a deeper game, they could use the legacy combat mode. So I'm very happy that both of these are in the game. So let's take a look here at our chart. Well, we had Mahaliak attacking with the primordial axe, right? So that's 5 and 2. Yeah, so that's 7. And then on his card, he can add +3. So that's 10. Let's take a look at the Black Hand Sniper. And the Black Hand Sniper, we just hit him. Notice that 10. So Mahaliak hits the Black Hand Sniper with what he declared with. 1 damage with that. You see how that works for phase 1? We're going to take a damage marker, put it over there on the Black Hand Sniper. So basically, phase 1 is over. That's simply how it works. Moving on to phase 2, Mahaliak used Mallory's golden bow. He had a 4, and what's that? And that's a huge hit. 13. And then of course on the bow, this had phase 2. He attacked in phase 2, right? That's another +3. So that's what, 16. And consulting this, that's a 13, right? Yeah, 13. He exceeded that. And I'm glad that this came up. This is the last roll of this. So with Mallory's golden bow, that does 2 damage, right? He kills the Black Hand Sniper, is dead in phase 2 because he killed it in phase 2. Now let me explain something here. Notice phase 3. Zeke did a hit, but once a champion monster is slain in phase 2, That's it. Anything after is like null and void. You don't count it. So even if he died, if the Black Hand Sniper was killed in phase 1, anything that happened in phase 2 and 3, null and void. That monster's dead. It was killed in phase 1. In this case, Maheliak killed it in phase 2. Combat's over. So you don't even count this. See how that works? But that's I'm glad this came up, and I wanted to show this to you. And this is, you know, actually playing this, I would like to play it probably solo this way. It's a lot to do on the camera, but if you want a more tactical, more strategic combat in Dungeon Crusade, you can use this system right here. So just the big rule to go away with, remember, as many weapons as a hero has, that's how many times they can attack. Once those weapons are out, they're going to have to put this on their hero card and defend, if it's a solo hero, you know, in that case. And lastly, you're going to notice as the monsters go up that some monsters are going to have some special abilities that might force the hero to defend. I won't give you any spoilers, okay? That's how that works. All right, guys, so let's clear this up. Black Hand Sniper had 2 life force, right? Yep, 2 life force. And I have the life force right here. Get that. And let's take a look at the loot and gold roll. And it is, what is that? Okay, it's 12 plus and a 17 plus. And since Maheliak had the killing blow, he will be rolling to loot this Black Hand Sniper to see if it had anything of value. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Legacy Combat Mode. Actually, I really enjoyed playing that. And what is this? Let's see, get this on camera. 10. Nope, nothing. So that combat is over. I hope that you enjoyed seeing that. And let's head back into the dungeon, and we're going to try to clear out the last chamber, and then our side quest is completed. I'll meet you back in the dungeon.